bunch of dogs here.
I got a bunch of them, four or five. In the last row.
Over against the wall.
6 o'clock.
You gotta stand up, yeah.
It's 6 o'clock.
Don't look at our clocks, they're off.
It's 6. Hit the button.
Will you please come to order and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thank you. May we have a roll call?
You certainly may. Good evening. All right, we'll start down there with Councilmember Kelly.
Present.
And Councilmember Turner is absent. Councilmember Perkins.
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza.
Here.
Councilmember Best.
Here.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Here.
And Mayor Croft.
Here.
And our attorney is on the TV and phone.
Hi, this is our attorney up here. If it looks, you don't panic because he belongs there. He's not an interloper. Introduction, presentations, and proclamations. The first one is recognition of Addie Daniels, Prescott Area Leadership Female Youth of the Year. Wow. Cecilia.
Good morning, or good evening, Mayor and Council. I want to just read you a little bit about Addie's bio. She is a future leader in our community, and I think it's important that we honor the youth as they are our future here. We have an aging population, and if we don't pay attention to some of these people, they will move on. So I want to just mention a few things, and then the mayor's going to recognize Addie for what she's accomplished. Addie is a graduating senior from Chino Valley High School, and she spent her time as a high school as a busy volunteer, athlete, scholar, and singer. In addition to being a 4-year varsity letterman in track and field, playing volleyball, serving as vice president of the National Honor Society and president of Chino Valley Choirs. During high school, she volunteered in many capacities that totaled over 1,000 hours. Locally, she has volunteered with the Lions Club, the Chino Valley School District, Yavapai County Education Foundation, Yavapai County Planning and Zoning, and her church. She has 2 volunteer projects that have been the most meaningful to her. One using her AutoCAD skills to design new dugouts for softball and designing the new throwing area for track and field. 2 projects which are almost completed. This is a legacy she is proud to leave at Chino Valley High School. The other project that is important to her is one she started this year with her brother Alex, called Chino Valley Food Neighbors. This year alone, she will manage the collection and distribution of over 12,000 pounds of food for homeless in her community. She has been recognized with the following honors this year: Wendy's Heisman School winner, Prescott Area Leadership, which is why we're honoring her tonight, the Female Youth of the Year, Junior Achievement of Arizona 18 Under 18 Award winner, received the President's Volunteer Service Award, and the Prudential Spirit of Community Award, and she was named as an Arizona Most Valuable Student by the Elks National Foundation. She plans to study civil engineering, and I'm going to kill the name of this university, Laterno, okay, University, where she will be a heritage scholar, competing in NCAA Division III track and field and singing in the choir. So the mayor has a little proclamation thing he will read for you, and thank you for being a leader of tomorrow, well, of today and tomorrow.
Gee, when I was your age, I was trying to stay awake in class.
I did that too.
Mom, you want to come up too? You earned some of this. Okay. Mayor's recognition certificate. Let me see if I got it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Mayor, we'll try it again. Mayor's recognition certificate. On behalf of the citizens of Chino Valley, Arizona, I, Darrell Croft, Mayor of the town of Chino Valley, Arizona, proudly present this recognition certificate and key to the town to Addie Daniel, Chino Valley High School. In recognition of her achievements and efforts as an outstanding student and young leader, thereby earning the title of, very important, Prescott Area Leadership Female Youth Leader of the Year for 2019. That's a lot of hard work. Congratulations on this exceptional recognition and keep up the good work. In witness thereof, I will hereto set my hand and cause the seal of the town of Chino Valley to be affixed on this 23rd day of April 2019. And to go with that, it's my pleasure to award you a key to the city. So anytime,
Little key.
anytime you want a cup of coffee or you need to talk to somebody, you have some time, come down and you can walk right in the door and wake me up in my office. And we also going to give you a one team t-shirt.
Thank you.
And you have an opportunity.
Wow. I will be honest with you. I just want to say thank you for having me here tonight, to recognize me. I appreciate it. But I got to be honest with all of you. I'm just going to say this here and now. I would not be who I am or where I am without the people who stand with me and behind me. Truthfully, my parents, my family, my coaches, my teachers, everybody who's been in support of me always they're the people that have gotten me here. It's never been on my own, and that's the truth. But thank you. I appreciate letting you guys have me here tonight.
You're not leaving. You gotta stand up there too. Don't be scared. Do I want to read it? Somebody needs to read it.
Oh, I'll read it. Item B, proclamation declaring April 30th, 2019 as National Therapy Animal Day, sponsored by Pet Partners of Prescott. And I understand Pet Partners of Prescott is a new organization in town. Look at all these gorgeous animals.
I used to have her like that.
Yeah. My golden would be jealous of these dogs. Go ahead.
Thank you. Proclamation National Therapy Animal Day, April 30th, 2019. Whereas there are 1,000 of Pet Partner Therapy Animals teams serving in communities across the United States, and Pet Partners has designated April 30th as National Therapy Animal Day. And whereas Pet Partners Therapy Animal teams in the town of Chino Valley play an essential role in improving human health and well-being through the human-animal bond, and whereas Pet Partners Therapy Animal teams make millions of visits per year in settings such as hospitals, nursing homes, schools, and hospice, and whereas Pet Partners Animal Therapy, or Therapy Animals, teams interact with a variety of people in our community, including veterans, seniors, patients, students facing literacy challenges, and those approaching end of life, and whereas these exceptional therapy animals who partner with their human companions bring comfort and healing to those in need. Now, therefore, Mayor Darrell Croft, Mayor of the Town of Chino Valley, do hereby proclaim April 30th, 2019 as National Therapy Animal Day in the town of Chino Valley, Arizona. Encourage our citizens to celebrate our therapy animals and their human handlers. Further, I publicly salute the service of therapy animal teams in our community and in communities across the nation. In witness thereof, Mayor have hereunto set his hand to and cause the seal of the town of Chino Valley to be affixed this 23rd day of April 2018.
Well, thank you for this. We are relatively a new organization. Bailey loves to go and say hi to everybody. We're relatively new. We started in October, and most of us work in the hospital with the PAWS program. And we started with 5 people. We're now up to 26 people. We visit the VA. We visit the schools, the hospitals. We're in all the schools in Prescott, and we're just getting into the Chino Valley schools, and we.
That looks like a town council.
appreciate this. All of our kids have worked today. All of these kids work in the schools, and I'll tell you, they love their children, especially the special ed group, and we've just seen a real value in helping because children are our future, right? So we appreciate this very much, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lord, it's beautiful.
Thank you very much for coming, and thank you for bringing these beautiful animals. My Golden would be jealous because she's home, didn't come, but you do have a great service. If we can help you in any way, please let us know. Thanks a lot. Okay, I figured that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're walking better, Jack.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, we're getting there.
All dressed up.
Mary, you want this one?
Close to this one. I'd like close to this one.
I was gonna hand it to you.
C, proclamation commemorating the 100th anniversary of the American Legion, sponsored by Chino Valley Bobby Bizjack, American Legion Post number 40. I hate to have this rush up here, but come on down, guys. Come on, all of you. Come right up front. How many sailors? Maybe? Wow.
I swear we got more sailors in this area than anything else, and I figured out why.
Why is that?
It was because when we get out of the Navy, we never want to see the ocean again.
Absolutely.
But Arizona has the highest per capita boat ownership of any state in the union. That knows a whole lot.
They bring all the gear with them when they come here. These are all service people, various services: Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines. There's a lot of years of service, a lot of years of smart, how to deal with people, how to deal with business. You learn a lot in the military. Proclamation, American Legion Centennial Day, May 11th, 2019. Whereas the American Legion has been a staunch advocate for veterans and their families since 1919, believing that a nation worth defending during wartime is a nation worth strengthening, honoring, and serving for as long as a veteran lives. And whereas the American Legion was founded on 4 pillars of care for veterans: a strong national defense, Americanism, and child and youth. And whereas over the years, Legionnaires have fulfilled their purpose toward a strong America, reached each level of U.S. society, playing a leading role in the initiatives that have affected the lives of Americans in every community, from the U.S. Flag Code to the GI Bill. And whereas the Chino Valley American Legion Post 40, named for U.S. Marine Bobby Bizjack, a native son who was killed in action in Vietnam, has fulfilled the Legion's mission since April 12, 1976, through programs such as Boy Scouts, Veteran Support, Boys State, Highway Flag Program, and Chamber of Commerce support. And whereas the American Legion is celebrating its centennial in 2018-2019, and the local Post 40 will be joining the national celebration on May 11th, 2019. Now therefore, I, Joe Croft, Mayor of the town of Chino Valley, do hereby proclaim May 11th, 2019 as American Legion Centennial Day in Chino Valley, Arizona, and urge all our citizens to recognize this observance. And who's the spokesperson for this? Just come over here, please, and introduce yourself. And if you're going to take credit for this, God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Town Council, residents. On behalf of the Department of Arizona American Legion, want to thank you for recognizing this organization. After the Civil War and after World War I, a group of people that started in France initiated an organization that did not want our veterans to go back into society without any kind of benefit, medical benefit, not only for them, but for their widows and their children. And that was the impetus to start this organization. You already heard the 4 pillars. So we want to thank you for that. This should go to post 6, or post 40, excuse me, post 40. I'm department vice commander for, so I've got 45 posts in my mind right now. But this will go to the post. I'd like to have a copy of it for our department commander. And want to thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, again. Thank you.
It is our pleasure, and anytime, whatever you need, give us a call and we'll try to help you out. Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. You have anything to say? That's unusual.
Thank you.
Yeah, just regular time.
You, okay. I just need that back when you're done, because it has my notes on the back.
Okay.
Thank you for your service.
I have one more proclamation. Thank you, Vice Mayor, for reading this one. Proclamation declaring May 5 through 11th, 2019 as 50th anniversary of Municipal Clerks Week, sponsored by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. And guess whose this is? Whose proclamation is this? You need to come up here with me. That's our municipal clerk. And I'll read the proclamation. And I don't know how long I'll give this to you for, but come over this way. 50th anniversary of Municipal Clerks Week, May 5th to 11th, 2019. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government that exists throughout the world, is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides a professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and the agency of government at other levels, serving as the information center on functions of local government and community. And whereas the municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. And whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, and county and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of municipal clerk. Now therefore, I, Darrell Croft, Mayor of the town of Chino Valley, do recognize the week of May 5 to 11, 2019 as Municipal Clerks Week in Chino Valley, Arizona, and extend appreciation to all municipal clerks for the vital service they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. And I don't know how many know what the town clerk and municipal clerk does, but she does everything. She takes care of all the records, all the elections, everything administratively. So I'm going to let her tell you, and I don't know all of what she does. So this is Jamie, and Jamie is Lewis is our municipal clerk, and she's been here how long, Jamie?
I've been with the town since 1995, and I've been municipal clerk since 2002. Yeah. And normally I don't really go for a whole lot of self-promotion, but since it was the 50th anniversary and I am looking at retiring fairly soon, I thought, well, it's time. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to go for the ball and chain thing. But yeah, he said it. Mostly municipal clerks work with the council. They are the election officials for the town. They are the records administrators, so all those public records things that go on flow through our office. We do liquor licenses and other things. If anybody really wants to know, I have a really cool PowerPoint that I used for the Citizens Academy, and I can just send it to you. But mainly also, I just want to recognize the town's been so good to me over the years, and I think that's another reason I wanted to have that done, is just so wherever you're living, you'll recognize what the clerk does, and it's a reminder to everybody to treat my successor well.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jack, you want to continue? Like, sit down here.
Sure, we
Go
will
ahead.
continue on. The call of the public. Call of the public is an opportunity for the public to address the council on any issue within the jurisdiction of Chino Valley that is not on the agenda. Public comment is encouraged. Individuals are limited to speak for 3 minutes. The total time for call to the public may be up to 30 minutes per meeting. Council action taken on a result of public comments will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, scheduling the matter for further consideration and discussion at a later date, or responding to criticism. Come on up. Don't forget to state your name, please.
I will.
All right.
Good evening. I am Beth Vickery, an Eagle Level Frontier Girls. Like so many children in Chino Valley, I grew up attending the wonderful library program and was saddened to learn there would not be one this year. As a result, I am here to announce my Eagle Diamond Award project. I will be hosting a series of programs every Wednesday afternoons this summer for children. We will meet in the library community room or in Memory Park depending on the day's activity. Some of the programs will have education speakers. Some will have crafts or games. We will have door prizes, contests, and best of all, books. I will be giving books to the children who attend throughout the summer. Programs will be open to all children ages 3 and up with an adult present. I am currently receiving volunteers to assist with running each program and supporting to help sponsoring to help support this event. If you wish to volunteer, sponsor, or learn more, you can contact my public relationship coordinator at this. It's kind of hard for me, so I'll just show it.
Summer Funds Kid Club. Can you say that? Summer Fun Kids Club.
Summer Fun Kids Club.
And you can contact Suzanne at 899-3582 or the library at 636-2687. And because of the retirement of Darlene Westcott, this is not to be confused with the summer reading program associated with the state of Arizona. They're two different, but Elizabeth is going to step forward and try to fill a little bit of that void, so we appreciate that. And I'll give this back to you. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Thank you for stepping forward and volunteering. And if we can support you anyway, please let us know. Anyone else has? Yes, ma'am.
Hello there. My name is Addie Daniels. First of all, I'm going to apologize for the way I'm dressed. I just came from practice, track practice. I'm trying to get ready for state, which is in a couple weeks. But I'm going to talk to you about our Green Bags project. So I'm sure some of you, some of the council members know my brother Alex Daniels. Him and I have started the Chino Valley Food Neighbors project, which basically, as you can see, we've brought a lot of green bags. Alex and I distribute these bags to the community members, and over the period of a month and a half, people will fill these bags with items from a list that's also in the bags, and then we collect them at the end of the month and a half, and then this food goes to support the students in the school district and also run a homeless food pantry that is run by myself, my brother, my mom, a bunch of volunteers from the school district. And so I'm here tonight to ask you, as a council, Town of Chino Valley members, if you would like to be involved with the project. And we're asking, I believe we brought 128 bags, and we're just asking for you to donate. Let's see. We will have a collection at the end of, or the first week of June and the first week of August. Our plan is that if you decide to participate in the project, that you fill the bag and return it the first week of June. And when you bring that in, if you want to do it again, we can redistribute a bag for you, and then you can build it until the end of August, and then we'll come collect it. We plan that you can leave them in the town building. I believe that's where we agreed would be a suitable location if you're interested. And we're also just making a suggestion here for anybody that wants to participate. Different departments of the town can even have a competition. We've had teachers do that at the school district between their class periods. That's been kind of fun, honestly. But we have community partners like through churches, Lions Club, Rotary, Drake Cement, all kinds of community partners right now. And so we're looking to add you specifically because school is ending in a month. I graduate in a month, which is really exciting. But school's ending in a month, so a lot of the support from the school district and the teachers is going to kind of decline. So we're looking to fill that gap. So that's why I'm here to talk to you tonight. If you're interested, we can distribute the bags now. We'll leave them. Is that what we're doing? All right, we will leave them for anybody that's interested, and you can pick one up. It can even be more than one. Truthfully, take lots. That's a good thing. We would appreciate it.
I have a bag at home. I through Rotary, and that's
I do
town
too,
manager
but
also.
why don't you leave us here about 50 bags, and we'll see if we can get some employees to take them home and, and do our
All
own
right.
little competition.
We can do that for sure.
And-
Thank you.
And when are you going to pick up the bags?
The first week of June,
First
which
week in
I
June.
believe is around the 5th or 6th, sometime then. There's an exact date, I believe, on the paper. The bags we're giving you right now have a food list and collection dates inside of the bag for everybody that takes one.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
it's a
you.
great project.
Yes.
Anyone else that would like to speak? Yeah. Do you really have to? Yeah, come on up. You harassed the mayor, I know.
Do what?
Go ahead.
What?
And you're going to talk about?
Wine Bites and Brew. And I'm Patty Lindsay, president of the Chino Valley Lionesses. And we are putting on Wine Bites and Brew this Saturday. It's huge. And Craig was the very first person that bought tickets this year. Woo, woo.
And I was second.
Yes, because you guys were fighting over first and second. I agree. We've got close to, if not over 400 people coming. It's our charity event of the year. And it's, like I said, Wine, Bites, and Brew. We have close to 25 vendors coming this year, where last year we only had like 5 or 6 total. But we had a good time last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a ball.
And it's amazing what we got coming. And that's the thing. We went local, so you just get a 5-ounce glass. You get 2.5 ounces of drink for 1 ticket, and you get 5 ounces for 2 tickets. But it's $35. Sorry, 25 was before.
Where does the money from this project
goes
go
for?
to? Where does it go for?
Doesn't go in my pocket. It goes into our account, and we've given it to Hungry Kids. Yes, we have track and field. Yeah, we have to support everybody around here. Meals on Wheels. That's true. The Children's Library, especially.
Senior Center.
Everybody, tell me where we'd be giving it, because I
Senior
always.
Center.
I mean, we just give it out to all kinds of places, but it strictly stays within this community. We help here first. We've given Yavapai Transit, Regional Transit, enough money for Paulden Plunge, and for also, that was a startup, Paulden Plunge, and also for free tickets for rides on there. So we help the veterans that way. This year we actually, since most of them left, but there's one still here from the American Legion, they're doing a prickly pear margarita bar. So you just never know what we got. But it's not just drinks, I promise. There's a lot of good food, bakeries, and things like that. So we just want to invite everybody out. I think there's quite a few here that are coming. But I still want to invite you and just let you know, Wine Bites and Brew are out, and we're putting Chino Valley back on the town again. Town on the, whatever. On the map, that's it. Don't ever ask me to do this again.
I told you, once you got up there, you never shut her
Oh,
up.
quiet.
Earthworks. It's at Earthworks. And when is it?
Saturday,
What
27.
time?
at the beginning.
Okay. Okay. Let's go on to current events, summaries, and reports. Status report by mayor and council regarding current events. Do we have anything on this side?
I'm good.
This side. Okay. Let's go on to status report by the town manager, Cecilia Gribman, regarding town accomplishments and current or upcoming projects.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. First off, I wanted to mention that we have community outreach, again, scheduled for tomorrow, the 24th at 11 o'clock at the Senior Center, and then also on the 30th, 11 o'clock at the Community Center. So 2 different locations, 11 o'clock, the 24th, and then the 30th. Those are the last 2 scheduled outreaches. Ballots should be going out next week, and, I'm sorry, tomorrow. Wow, today is the 23rd, yeah. So as ballots are going out, unless we get additional questions, we're probably done with the formal community outreach. I wanted to mention that today on the City of Prescott's council agenda, they did have an executive session on the IGA that they had proposed for us, so just kind of a heads up on that. We don't meet again for another 3 weeks, so I wanted to mention that we have a volunteer reception scheduled for the 2nd of May at the Senior Center at 3 p.m. Both Lois and Kathy have worked their tails off to get a hold of all our volunteers, as well as getting door prizes. All council members are invited to attend. You are in somewhat of a volunteer capacity, but it would also be an opportunity for you to thank the volunteers who do so much work for our organization and our community. The Chino Grinder is scheduled for the 4th of May at the Community Center. This is their 5th year. And they are cutting off the riders at 450 riders, and looks like they've got maximum. And that's it. That's it.
Any of your staff need to speak?
Yeah, but they're agendized. So if you want to read the agenda item, and then.
Okay. C, introduction of Maggie Tedderback to the town's new economic development
Tedderback?
project manager,
Tedderback?
Cecilia. Maggie, would you come down?
So I want to welcome Maggie Teidebeck to working for the town. She is our new economic development slash project manager, and give you guys an opportunity to ask her a few questions if you want. But this is only her second day, so we don't have a grocery store yet, and but Maggie has grown up in the Prescott area, so she's familiar with a lot of people here, and also has a real estate license, so she also knows a lot about the land development process. So if you want to say a few words, or
Am I standing in the right place? Hi, everybody. I'm Maggie Teidebeck. I'm really excited to be here. I did grow up in the area. I went to Prescott High, graduated in '96. Now my family of 7 live out here in Chino Valley. Cecilia and I met very serendipitously at the bonfire through a conversation, and so here I am. Past life was commercial real estate, business brokerage. For example, Pescetti's is here. I leased that to them, represented both sides. So that's kind of my background. Do you have any questions for me?
Are you just so excited or what?
Very excited. Very excited, yeah. Yep.
Well, we're glad to have you on board, and we expect great things out of you.
Thank you. I hope to do that.
Question?
Yeah.
I don't have anything, no. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Look
Thank you,
forward to
Mayor.
working with you, and
Likewise.
we're happy and excited too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank
Nice to meet
you.
you all.
thanks, Maggie.
Microphone.
Give it up.
Report on the utility shop building and Mermaid Park bathrooms, Mr. Marbury, our
Yes.
Public Works Director, Town Engineer.
Sure, just a quick update on the utility shop building and the park bathrooms. We've gone to a design build type format with that, and we've advertised and received 6 submittals of teams. We've reviewed those, and we're currently talking with the top ranked firm and pending some legal review and contract type things. Hopefully we can be bringing something back next month if everything goes well, to get that under contract. And if all goes well, should be a pretty quick design. That's the beauty of design build. If we can do this, it'll save a lot of time in the procurement, and then we'll bring that back and hopefully be under construction in the fall for those buildings. So we're moving forward on those.
Are you talking about the shop building or the bathrooms?
Both.
Both.
Good. Questions?
No.
Questions?
Thank you for getting it done.
Thank you, Frank.
Finally.
We haven't needed that in a long time.
Sure, I know it's a bit of a struggle, but we hopefully this is the best procurement way, and
Okay.
we'll work through it.
I have one question, yes,
Sure.
Paul. When we do the bathrooms, we're upgrading the electrical, yes?
Yes, we anticipate a completely new building with electrical and possibly septic upgrades. I know those aren't as glamorous as electrical, but
Well,
and we'll be talking with the park department too about the needs for electricity in the park. So we'll probably upsize that quite a bit for some of the needs they have for the events there.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go on item E, presentation regarding the May 21st, 2019 special election ballot question related to the road maintenance program and primary property tax. Mr. Marbury and Mr. Duffy.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and Council. You've seen this before, so we'll go through this again for those watching that may not have seen it yet. On the ballots are coming out. Help me, Jamie. Tomorrow, for the special election for the ballot question for the road maintenance property tax. This has been going on for a while, as the mayor likes to say. The town generally feeds back that weeds, trash, and roads are the biggest issues, if I'm getting those right. Nope, didn't get it right. Drainage, trash, and roads. I'm sorry. Weeds
are a problem too.
When I do like certain folks can go off the cuff. I tend to lose out, so. But anyway, through the roads committee and in the engineering department, we looked at the roads, and the first approach we did is what do we need as far as maintenance goes for program maintenance? The engineering department looked at the road network we have is comprised of about a third of it is arterial roads. Those are the big main roads. And then the other 2/3 of the network are the smaller local roads. We've got 153 miles of road right now under the town inventory system. We'll also look at it by pavement type. This map shows the various pavement types. We have chip seal roads, asphalt roads, gravel roads, and dirt roads. About 80 miles of the roads in town are chip seal. About 40 miles of those are asphalt, and the rest of the roads are various forms of gravel and dirt. And the state highway is maintained by ADOT through state funds. And I will say, with the exception of the sidewalks from 4 South to Center Street, the town maintains the landscape and sidewalks. When we look at how to preserve these roads, this slide shows the toolbox we use for pavement preservation. You want to keep the roads up in the green section of this where the pavement preservation techniques are the cheapest and the roads are in the best shape. For every $1 you spend up there, as you move down into the orange and red, you're at $5, and then down in the reconstruction, you're probably spending another $15 to $25 for the dollars you'd spend up in the green section. So if you let roads go to where many of our roads have gone into the reconstruct stage, it gets a lot more expensive for the same amount of work. This is another graph kind of showing that the green curve is your cheaper preservations, your seal coats. And if you can do those more often with smaller dollar amounts, you can save. This shows the same road. You could spend $120,000 on it and get the same effect as if you let it go to reconstruction and spend $1.5 million. So it's a factor of 10 times if you can get the right treatment at the right time. So we looked at that and looked at the condition of the roads to determine which sorts of treatments we would use on these roads, and also looked at the classification for the type of maintenance we would need. The arterials and collectors would need a little more maintenance. That's why you see a third of the network as arterials and collectors, but it uses half of the funds because they need more maintenance. The residentials and rurals, again, more roads, but need lighter maintenance, but mainly because of traffic concerns. So the cost over 20 years is about $32 million, and came back, divide that back out, and that's about $1.6 million per year that we need for the current condition. Our funding level right now, we'll show in a future slide, is about $400,000 that council's managed to squeeze out of the budget. How do you manage that? Through pavement management programs. County's got a pretty good program that we would model similar to. It's pretty much an industry standard. What you do is use various measuring tools, a lot of electronic equipment as you get more sophisticated, down to visual assessments depending on funding levels. We plan on, if this goes through, developing a 7-year capital improvement program, so you would actually list every road in town and have years 1 through 7 and have that list. So if someone calls up, wants to know what year the road is going to be done, we can have that answer to them at any given time. Again, right now there's about $400,000 available for this type of program that gets us about 3 to 5 miles per year. That's a 30 to 50 year cycle. It's just not enough, and the road conditions are continuing to get worse. With the program, you'd have 1.6 to 1.9 million available. It'd allow 15 to 20 miles per year. That's a 7-year cycle, and you can maintain the road condition or even improve it. And then we turn, this is a slide of just how we compare to our neighbors with the amount of spending. If the road program goes through, it would up that spending to about $16,000 per mile. So it'd be just under what the county spends per mile of road on maintenance. And then we turned it over to the finance department and said, okay, how's the best way to find the money? And that's where
Mr. Joe Duffy is our finance director.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council.
I thought you were a ghost. I didn't.
No,
You've
I'm
been
here,
gone.
actually keeping track of every dollar you have. So basically what we decided is the council has asked the voters to approve a property tax levy of $1.5 million. Adding that to our roads material funds, which is the money we have left from our HERF distributions of about $400,000 a year, we'll have about $1.9 million available every year to put on the roads. Now, Frank said that we need about 1.6, but the roads committee and mayor and council, you approved this, that we'd ask for a little bit more so we can put this extra 300,000 away in the bank for some major capital projects. And the one that we talk about is Safeway 2 North. That's going to need a major reconstruction, several, $1.5 million worth of work. So this will allow us to work on all of our roads around town, plus have extra dollars to do some major capital road improvements over time. So the question is, how much is it going to cost us? How much is it going to cost you and me as a taxpayer? And so we went out, we used the 2018 assessed value. We have 6,900 properties in the town of Chino Valley, and 3,500 are basically primary residential, and 900 are non-primary residential. So there's going to be multifamily, duplexes, rental properties, and things like that. But all in all, out of that 6,900, 4,400 are essentially residential properties. So our residents will pay the majority of this tax. The average property in Chino Valley, their limited assessed value is $117,000. So the average property is going to pay, and this chart didn't come over correctly for some reason tonight, but you're going to basically be assessed on $11,495 and pay about $226 per year for the tax. There it is right there. Businesses will pay a little bit more, and even vacant land, they pay a little bit on their property tax. And let me go, if I can go. Jamie, you got me locked up here. There you go. So the one thing we do want to remember is that one of the key points and some of the key facts is the funds will be used exclusively for road maintenance and construction. They will not be used for employee salaries and wages, any of our service and supplies, any fuel or anything like that. No overhead will be charged for it. This money we're going to be using to put on the roads. Now the plan is we're going to account for this money in a separate fund. Now already by state law, we're required, our annual auditors that audit our financial statements each year have to produce a separate report for the Auditor General's office on how we use our HERF funds. And those have to be used for road construction and maintenance. And they do that report every year. So we're going to set these funds up in a separate fund and expand the scope for our auditors and have them audit these funds also to make sure they're used in accordance with the ballot language. We're also going to put out a report every year to mayor and council on exactly how the funds were used. We'll, of course, post it on our website. But we envision most of these funds being used hiring contractors to do the majority of this work. And so what I envision is probably a one-page report that says, okay, we received $1.5 million. We spent it with these 3 contractors, and here's the roads we did this year, so the taxpayers can go out and look at, yep, they sure did those roads, or we saw them, they were in our neighborhood, we know they were doing it. And just basically keep it nice and clean and simple. So, and then the other important thing is the tax will be assessed for 20 years. And so in about, if the town does a really good job, I'm sure in 18 years, there'll be a finance director and an engineer standing up here doing a presentation on how we should extend the tax, if we need to at that time. So, and I believe that's all I have, unless someone has any questions.
Did I hear you say that with that money, we would hire contractors to do the work?
Yes, our intent.
How would that interfere with funds not to be used for employee salaries or wages?
Well, we will bid out the jobs and use contractors to do.
Okay, got my mic back on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll be bidding out the jobs.
Okay.
And or piggybacking, like we piggyback with the county using their contractors to do chip seal and things like that. So, like any dollar that the town spends now, we're gonna try to get the most bang for the buck and stretch every dollar as far as possible.
Any other questions? Thank you, Joe, very much. Thank you, Frank.
Mayor, if I may just say, I really want to thank both you and Joe and Frank. We've had probably about 50 different community outreaches. I know it's been a good chunk of everybody's time, but I really appreciate it. We had some people come last week who just couldn't believe what they were hearing on social media and wanted to kind of get the facts straight. And I hope more people will come out to the last two that we have and get the facts.
And the next one is tomorrow
Correct, at 11 o'clock at the
11
senior
o'clock
center.
at the senior center. So if you really want to find out what it's all about and not the things that are being said on social media that media that are not really factual, come out to one of our meetings. Okay, let's go on to number 6, consent agenda. All these items listed below are considered to be routine and may be enacted by one motion. Any council member may request to remove an item from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. Anything to remove?
No, sir.
No.
Anything to remove?
No.
Then I'll need a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion we accept the consent agenda as read, items 6A, B, and C.
Second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Action items. The council may vote to recess the public meeting and hold an executive session on any item on this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431-0383 for the purpose of discussion or consultation for legal advice with the town attorney. Executive sessions are not open to the public and no action may be taken in executive session. So now we come to the part that Mackenzie has been sitting out here waiting for. This is item A on the action item, presentation by Mackenzie Rogers, APS Northwest Division Manager, and possible discussion regarding an overview of APS Firewise Fire Mitigation Program. Cecilia, do you have any introduction?
Absolutely. Oh, is it on? Yeah, okay. Honorable Mayor, esteemed council, thank you for having me today. My name is Mackenzie Rogers. I'm the Northwest Division Manager for APS. And I'm here today to talk to you and educate our customers as we approach the high fire risk season. Reliability and safety are number one to APS. It's in our core values as a company and in each of our employees, and that's shown by our results as top quartile for reliability and top decile for safety. The only thing more important to us as a company than reliability is safety for our customers and our communities. You'll have to excuse my voice, I'm getting over a cold. Arizona, especially northern Arizona, face a heightened wildfire threat due in part to more residential developments in the forest or the continued build out of what's called the Wildland Urban Interface, or my favorite acronym, WUI. I'm here to tell you today what APS is doing to support public safety in coordination with our first responders and forest management agencies. This is not new to APS. For a number of years, we've completed these fire risk reduction measures, and every year we work on maintaining and clearing our right-of-ways and our equipment to ensure that we mitigate the fuels around our infrastructure. These are examples of some of the robust programs that we have in place, and I'll detail more over the next few slides. We don't own the right-of-way, so we can't control what's planted there. However, we work with owners to appropriately space the vegetation. Historically, our utility right-of-ways have been heavily used by fire service as a fire break, so it becomes even more important that we keep these clear. Our defensible space around poles, or DSAP program, is exactly what it sounds like, and very similar to the defensible space that we create around our homes. We also complete a pole-by-pole inspection of every distribution feeder in a 4-year cycle, and each troubleman is required to sign off that they certify that they've reported all concerns on the pole. Additionally, we have a full-time fire mitigation specialist on staff, Wade Ward. I brought him with me today. And he works closely with the agencies to ensure that we follow all the protocols and oversees our fire mitigation programs. This is a picture of the DSAP program at work. This is a picture from the Tinder Fire in Payson, and it shows a pole that's perfectly intact, and that is a wood pole, and still standing after a fire came through and took out all the other vegetation. We take these programs very seriously, and we've seen them work, and I wanted to show a picture of that. This is available on our website. I really want to call to attention the public safety hotline. So if you see something that looks unsafe, please call this number or email us at publicsafety@aps.com. We also have some safety tips and tricks available on there as well. As mentioned, every year we conduct public safety line patrols on overhead equipment in heavy WUI areas and heavily vegetated areas. That's over 2,800 miles across the whole state. Those are the smaller distribution lines. And 1,200 of those are in Yavapai County. So we have a large amount of those in my area of jurisdiction. During these, we physically walk down every line with the use of drones, UTVs, and by foot to put eyes on the condition of every piece of equipment. Additionally, some of you heard me speak last year, and we are reinstating the same measures to possibly interrupt service and increase our operations protocols. So before re-energizing the lines, we ensure our first responders patrol sections of the line with additional rigor during outages in high fire risk areas throughout the summer months. While reliability is something we pride ourselves on at APS, we recognize that this could prolong the outages in the area, but we prioritize the safety of our customers and community above the reliability of our services. However, we're also leveraging more technology. We're strategically installing over 400 fault indicators across our system that are essentially a blinky light that locates the, shows the location of the fault and signals the troubleman even in the middle of the night or in the middle of the forest. We realize that any disruption of power is a major inconvenience to our customers, so we're trying to get the word out in as many different ways and communicate the reason behind these changes and ensure our customers are being communicated with and know the tools available as much as possible. We'll be sending letters to all customers in areas of higher fire risk based on their proximity to the WUI. And that will include safety and fire rise tips, as well as a notification that they could experience longer than normal outages during this high fire risk time. Additionally, we'd like to remind customers to sign up for emergency alerts on their phones through the Nixle app, where you can select your zip code and get local emergency alerts. And then also, please download the APS app or go to aps.com for access to our outage map, which include updates and estimated restoration times for outages. And you can also sign up for text alerts for outages specifically to your home or business. We'll text you when you're out of power and when your power's been restored. However, contrary to popular belief, we don't know when you are out of power, so please call or report. There's also, if you do download the app, there's a very quick one-click to report an outage. And that helps. The more people that report, the quicker we're able to identify and prioritize the outages on the system, especially during a storm when we have multiple people out in multiple areas. This last one is tips on what to do during an outage. Number one, please don't approach or go near any downed power lines. Stay at least 100 feet away. And also, a little known fact, food can keep fresh in a fridge up to 8 hours and 24 hours in a freezer if you don't open the door. In the event of a sustained outage, APS will set up ice stations in the area or will offer ice reimbursements so that you can put that in your freezer to keep food fresh, and there'll be updates on that in our outage maps as well. I have magnets and pamphlets on the back about outage safety, so that as reminders. With that, any questions? And thank you for the opportunity.
For me.
Any questions? No?
Okay.
Thank you for being
Thank you.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. We do not have an executive session.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned. I thought you'd never ask.
Is this for your team?